All right, everybody. Welcome back. Actually, not welcome back. Welcome to the first ever...
Dose
what?
Those Beards, one podcast.
Two Beards, one podcast. This is going to be our very first...
Number one.
...episode and our very first podcast.
And this is a trial run, basically.
This is a trial run. So... You guys know me. This is my channel. This is the Mind of Milton here, but you don't know, and I'm not going to call him my guest because he's going to be...
Oh, not a guest.
Yeah, he's not a guest. He's part of this podcast, but I will hush and I will let him introduce himself.
Well, for the sake of this podcast, I will be going by Richie. And if you do not know me, I play every once in a while on Milton's Twitch. I'm not any good, nor do I have the capabilities of holding my own. However...
Dude, you're better than me. Sorry, go ahead.
However, I do not have an official YouTube channel. I do have one from college, and let's just say some of the videos may not be appropriate for today's consumption.
So basically, go subscribe to Richie. All right. All right, so tell us, like, people know me because they watch videos, right? So they see, like, what I'm up to and...
Correct, yeah.
But give them a little bit of background. Like, I don't know if you want to tell them your age, or I don't know if you can tell them so much about what you do, and just any background you can give them.
All right, so for those who may not understand or know my voice from just watching or listening, I am 30th of age. So big old 3-0. I have known Milton for, 20 plus years.
Yeah, almost that whole 3-0.
Yeah, almost all 30 of them. And, grew up in the neighborhood, played basketball, all the stuff, hang out, done airsoft with Milton, done everything.
Yep.
And I... Unlike the same how everybody around here, I am a contractor. I do support the U.S. government, and that's about all I'm gonna say there.
Right on.
I'm a father, married, and yes, happily, and both to that is to being a dad and a father,
right
and a husband. So that is my short and sweet background for those who may not recognize who I am.
Right on, right on. All right. Well, that's Richie. Get used to him. Get used to his voice. He is going to be on this podcast all the time. And I guess what we're planning to do with this is just to go over topics, talk about certain things. You're going to get Richie's take on it. You're going to get my take on it. And we're gonna let it ride. We're just gonna see where this takes us.
Yeah, two opinions.
Yep.
Maybe the same, may not. Over some drinks of every kind of adult beverage.
Oh yeah. By the way, we're already like a little. We're not feeling toasty yet.
But it's good.
But yeah, we've definitely enjoyed a little bit of adult beverages. So
yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I don't know how often the podcast is gonna be out, but we will be putting out our own content. And also, if you have any topics or ideas that you would like us to cover, please email. Email. Nobody does that.
Drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments. Yeah. I'm new to this whole thing. Yeah, I don't have a YouTube. I don't know about no comments. Hit me up on the DMs. No, I'm just joking. Drop it in the comments, and we'll look at them, and then maybe we'll do something out from the community.
Yeah, I mean, that can literally be anything you can think of. Obviously, if it's pretty wacky, then we just may not go with it. But if it's something viable and something that we both would like to weigh in on, definitely we will throw it on the podcast and we will talk about it, and it'll be a good time. So to start off today, the very first topic that we're going to talk about is, what did we say?
Oh, this is a very confrontational topic in every household,
yep,
including mine. It is the good old Apple or Android. And everybody, if you do not have an Android right now, I apologize because I am connected by mic in my headphone jack and I'm also charging my phone at the same time. So if you would like to shout out at me, please do, because I'm charging and recording because I have the possibility to do that. And then I'll switch it over to the Apple users.
The Apple users. So, like you said, it's Apple versus Android. It's a discussion that, comes up a lot. People have strong opinions. And yes, he is rubbing it in my face that he is able to use his headphone jack right now. And the port to charge his phone at the same time.
Yeah, I might have to have you take a picture of this and put it up on the podcast because this is just amazing watching you just holding your one little toggle.
Yes, I do not have that wonderful option, and I have this rinky-dink Apple adapter that I have to use for a headphone jack. It's that right there. Yeah, I have to use that. There's no way around it. We all know Apple's very proprietary. Samsung is a little more free in that sense. And yes, it does bug me because I'm staring at it right now, and I see that he's able to do that, and I can't.
It's lovely. I'm watching my battery go up instead of going down.
So yes, that bugs me, and it bugs me very, very much. But I still want to weigh in on the Apple versus Android, and overall, I still strongly believe in the quality of the Apple products compared to the Samsung products. And that is based on my personal experience. It's not like a fanboy thing. It's just what I know, what I've used. And yeah, like I said, that's just my experience.
Well, I can say that, for instance, if I literally go to any Best Buy, that I will be able to find 35 Apple products for a phone, then we'll connect to it instead of anything that will be Android based. So that includes headphones, watches, all of that nature. They all say big old letters on it, Apple compatibility, when I know that there's some things and some apps that do not cross over to Android users. And that's okay, because I'm okay with using the apps and stuff that I have now.
One thing that actually comes to mind right now that really sticks out for me, and this is in favor of the Android, actually, so it doesn't help my cause, but I thought it was important to bring it up because one of the things that I've dealt with that's kind of a pain in the butt is moving files around. So for Apple, you have to...
Oh, yeah, that's the lovely thing, especially everybody that works with media or any kind of thing of switching datas, anything around.
So with Richie's setup, he can just drag and drop as he feels like. With my setup, it's not that easy. There are workarounds where I can send something straight from the computer to my phone. But for the most part, it's not an easy drag and drop when dealing with just your PC and your phone. It doesn't work that way. I have to use iTunes and basically I have to use iTunes for everything. So it's kind of a pain. And I don't know why I brought that up because it doesn't help my cause, but it is important to mention. So
well, just to jump on the back of that, and this goes out to back in my college days, I was able to use both PC and Mac going throughout my editing days, my multimedia degree, and just having to go from PC to Mac is a pain. Because not only if you're taking photos with your camera and then you go to edit it, you can edit on Photoshop in PC and in Mac. However, if you have an external hard drive of any sort, it has to be formatted to the set specific, usage, unless you have something that's a little bit unlocked as per se. that where you can go cross-platform, and it's just a pain because my college professors would all want everything turned in on Mac, everything turned in that way, and they all had iPhones and they all had everything that they could just do their Dropbox and get the photos right there. And I had my phone, my Android phone, and I was like, hey, I was not able to receive that file that you're trying to submit to all the students, and I'm the kid that's in the corner like trying to download and cross-platform, and it's just a pain, you know. And yeah, when your friends and your wife and everybody have Apple and they're trying to send you stuff and they're trying to send you a file or a song or something, it's like, hey, I can't get that, and I know I have Apple Music on my phone, so there are benefits to Apple products. You know, they get some of the songs over all the different, like Spotify, iHeart, and Amazon, you know. But, you know, it's just a pain to have it go across. And it's both ways. It's also going from Android to Apple, because Apple has Lightroom and all things like that. And I'm also speaking from taking photos as a beginner photographer. It's hard when you try to send photos to a friend or anywhere to get edited, and you're talking PC and they're talking Mac, and now you have to go back and send them just a RAW from however you're going to get it off your camera. But yeah, so I do like the App Store, and you know, on iPhones. I know they have way more apps than Android does. But I know that Android has a lot of exclusive apps that are also just for Android, but they're usually made by, like, you know, small house.
That's one thing I've noticed.
Places.
Like, it seems like Apple's more strict with who they allow for apps. Whereas I remember when I had my Samsung, there was like a ton of just the most random apps that, holy moly, like, I don't know how they got through.
Yeah, well, it goes to that whole thing where, like, you know, Linux versus coding, you know, because if you're going to allow people to use PC to code and make apps, and, you know, that's a whole nother thing, that PC uses their own coding thing, and Apple is strict with that. That's the same thing with, like, if you're trying to use, you know, Office, Word, you mean Microsoft Word, you're not going to be able to use the straight Microsoft Word that you have on your PC on a Mac. You have to go out and buy a third-party license, basically the Mac version of Office, of Word, and that's basically the same thing. If it's coming in through Apple, it's going to get verified by Apple.
Right.
And yes, people, I am not speaking 100% facts. I'm not looking up anything on my phone or laptop.
Nope.
So
This is just opinion.
please don't hit me with some fact check. If you want to drop facts in the comments, please do. I will resent and draw back anything that I said. But again, this is opinions. I'm not dropping specs on specific coding or
not.
specific anything.
No, we're
this
not.
is just opinion based.
We're not looking anything up. This is strongly based on our experience with each of them. I think you've owned Apple and Samsung phones, correct?
I've used an Apple phone for about 6 months when my phone broke, and I was borrowed an Apple phone. So I have used it on a daily basis.
So I've used both. And actually not too long ago, well, it was quite a while ago. It was when the S8 came out. And I was super pumped about it. And I had been using Apple for like a few years, and I decided to switch over. And before that, I had, I don't know, I think I had Droid phones or something. I don't know, before the Apple ones. Anyway, when I moved over to Samsung, I was super pumped. I didn't last a week with that phone. Like, I hated it. Like, but it wasn't just, it was little things that don't make or break like a normal person. It just really bugged me. Like, one of the things, and this is silly to probably a lot of people, but they came with like AKG headphones, right? They were like super hyped, or like $100 headphones or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
they sounded like crap. I hated them. I honestly thought the sound coming from my old Apple phone was cleaner. The other one, I don't know, I forget what I described it as. I think it was just loud, but the quality of sound was trash.
No bass, no treble, no nothing.
Yeah, and even when I switched headphones, I thought, okay, well, it's probably these AKG headphones that they like hyped up but aren't that great. No, it was the phone. It was the quality of the audio coming from the phone, and that was huge for me because my old iPhone to me sounded way cleaner, and I'm not a bass head. I'm not like all about like the treble in it. I like a nice rounded like clear sound.
Yeah.
And Samsung just let me down big time on that. And that wasn't the only reason why I let go to the phone, but that was a big, because I listened to music a lot at the time.
Oh, yeah.
That was huge. I was like, nope, that is unacceptable. This is supposed to be the hottest newest phone, and the quality of sound is trash to me. Like, that's harsh. Wasn't trash. It just wasn't as good as my old iPhone.
Yeah. No, I think there was a period, I think from Samsung, the S8 to about 9, they had a rough patch. The Note was not that great when they dropped that. And I remember I wanted the Note so bad.
Did they have battery issues? Was it with the Note?
That was not the recent Note, but the two gens before that, the exploding battery.
Jeez, I'm behind.
But I know that I barely did the switch to Samsung. I was using Motorola, and I was using...
I had Motorola's.
I was also using... I was using Verizon. But it was... I forgot what it was. But I've gone through a patch where I used a lot of the different phones, and I don't think that a lot of them had great sound quality, and I still don't think that Samsung has the best output from their speakers inside.
I'm sure it's gotten better.
It's gotten better, but like I use third-party speakers. I use Skull Candy speakers. I mean headphones, and I've had Skull Candy and I've had Soul and.
All right, folks, we had to cut that. We're now back, and we're actually going to tell you why we had to cut that podcast.
Well, I'll tell them because it was my child who ended up that wanted to run around and destroy Milton's house. So
it was an accident.
I will kindly pay any
He's not paying anything.
Repercussions that were followed. I will have to buy a custom set to replace what is broken. So yes.
So explain to the viewers what just happened.
so my wife is changing my daughter's butt because she went, she needed an oil change.
Yep.
My son proceeded to play with a bouncy ball, a kickball.
It's very bouncy, by the way.
And kicked it inside a house with a lot of fragile designer decorative items and broke a porcelain vase. So it is a part of a set, and you cannot just buy one. So I will have to replace the whole set, which is a custom set that goes with the entire layout of the house.
It's not that serious.
Yeah,
it's not that. So for the viewers, accidents happen. It's part of life, and you roll with it.
And this is what happens when you get 3 kids in a house that have not seen each other in excessive of a couple of months.
Yes, it's been a while. They're excited. They haven't seen each other in a while. But what's important here is that, well, first off, what happened was that we were in the middle of the podcast. We were talking about you were talking about like headphones.
Yes, I was talking about how I use generally not the headphones that come with the phone. I usually buy aftermarket headphones.
With the Samsung phone.
Yeah.
So we were in the middle of that. Richie was talking about it, and we hear this crash and like something breaking, and so we immediately shut it off because we didn't know if someone got hurt or whatever the case. So that's what happened. We ran out. Everything's fine. We did a little bit of of cleanup, nothing major at all, and most importantly, none of the kids are hurt. And now we're back here with you guys. So we're going to continue with the discussion, more inclined towards like phones, because we could go all day talking about like tablets and this and that. But I think for the most part, we've been addressing phones. And I think we left off with Richie talking about, obviously, like he just said, the he switches out the headphones that come standard with the Samsung phone. And I don't know, do you have anything else to add to that one?
No, I think that was my point. I do know that Apple provides a set of headphones, but I heard now with the new iPhone that's coming out, I heard that it's going to be a cheap version of Buds because they're trying to get rid of the whole basically Thunderbolt port thing.
Lightning.
In the Lightning. Sorry, Thunderbolt.
Same thing.
The whole port thing in general, and try to go to docking charger.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a joy for a lot of users that are trying to go from older iPhones to new one. And, just having just having a port for headphones is a plus in my sense, because
I agree.
I can just plug in any kind of headphones that I have around the house, also my headphones that I've been using in the past, and just go with it. And I don't have to worry about looking for an adapter or any kind of other piece to go along with it.
So one point I want to bring up is quality. I've owned both Samsung and Apple phones, and in my experience, mine solely, my Apple phones have lasted a whole lot longer than Samsung phones, and that's just me. So it could be the way I'm using them, it could just be my luck, who knows? But because that's been my experience, I'm gonna say that Apple makes more of a quality product in my case.
Well, to beg to differ on that is I upgraded about a year and a half ago to the Galaxy S10, and I did turn in my old Galaxy, which I got over $300 reimbursement because it was basically had never left my case in open air, and it has been in my life-proof case since the day I bought it. And that's the same with my new Galaxy S10 that I have. Well, I would say my new one, but it's old now. I pre-ordered it, and the day that I pre-ordered the S10, I pre-ordered my life-proof case. And it's been in a life-proof case since the day I bought it. It is seen the light of day maybe 5 times from outside of its case, and that's the way I keep it. I do not let my kids play with it.
So you haven't had any issues with yours?
Oh, no. I mean, mine lasted me multiple years without having issues of any kind of drops, cracks, or anything like that. Previously, in my, younger years, I had cracked phones and had to replace phones, but in my last, 2 or 3 purchases, I can say, knock on wood, that I have not had any cracks or issues with my phone.
Nice. See, and that's the beauty of this. It's all on each personal experience, what they know about it, what they've experienced with the items. It's all subjective. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's what we love about it. Not everyone's the same. People like Apple for certain reasons. People hate Apple for certain reasons. Same with Samsung. It all depends on the person.
Well, another point I wanted to use is I loved using the SE when I had it. The SE was a good phone. It was a beautiful phone. My daughter still uses an SE, the original SE, and she watches movies off of it and things like that.
It still works.
And it still works. It has a crack because my daughter has been rough with it, but in the sense of how we can go from loading a movie to her watching a movie and her using the SE and her functioning, and she's she's younger, so she knows how to use it. And I love the format of how functional it is. It's just, like I said, little things come in the way of my daily use of an iPhone, and it just makes it frustrating. But I do love the fact that we are recording this right now on an iPhone, and Milton did not have to download any app, yet I had to go out and download an app to record on a Samsung. So that is another benefit.
See, so plus and minuses all over the place. There's a lot of good things about Samsung phones. There's a lot of good things about Apple phones. And to be honest, I think we're pretty fortunate to be in a position where we can choose like any one of those that we want.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. And it's not that I'm going to go out and get the new S20 that's coming out. I don't have any kind of desire to get a new phone anytime soon. I'm still paying for the one that I have now. But what I would like, the new features, yeah. Of course I would like a new camera, new this and that. And Samsung's camera, I have 3 lenses on mine.
It's way better than Apple's, yeah, I know.
And I know that anybody that has an X or 11 is going to, well, I have 3 cameras, blah, blah. No,
but Samsung has been killing them in the camera. And one of the main points for that for me was like when you're taking video and vlogging or whatever, all these Apple phones until the like 11 came out with like the stabilization thing, all the Samsungs had that like way before.
Oh, yeah.
To where you wouldn't have issues when you threw those on a what do you call it, on a gimbal, whereas these things had like some kind of auto stabilization thing, and you actually had to do a hack and put like a magnet so that would cut out to allow you to use it on a gimbal. It was a hot mess. So Samsung is way better than that. And in previous phones, I remember seeing the comparisons over and over again where Samsung would kill Apple with the cameras on it. So yeah. I mean, and power to them.
If you're somebody that likes to do your front facing, your little, the selfies, I mean, I think for the most part that's pretty much the same camera. But if you don't really care about the camera and you just want the functionalities of having your TikTok and your videos and your apps and all that other stuff, yeah, Apple wins on that front. They have, a better area and expertise in, having those apps that cross-platform each other for the social media. Where, Samsung, I have to go reach out and download a different app to do another app to just talk to another app. So... yeah. And, I mean, like Milton said, there's pluses and minuses on both sides. We both agree and disagree that everybody's opinion is based on their own and their usage of the phone. And there's features that I would like to see on Samsung, and there's features that I would like to see on Apple.
Yep.
And, will it ever happen? Probably not.
Yeah,
because,
probably not.
That's the whole game. You got to be one step ahead of your competitor. Unless somebody comes out with another phone that will beat both of them, I will think that is far out because, you have all these different companies from Europe and Asia that have their own different phones, and they don't even use Apple phones. They're Samsung. They have their own specific phone for that culture or whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, like that Huawei phone is like big in other countries.
Yeah, and then there's that one gaming phone that has like almost like an 11-inch screen or something. It's ridiculous. It's like so basically like a tablet.
So much out there.
Yeah, there's different phones, but
One thing that I really want to know is I want to know, like for those watching this or listening to this, I want to know which one you prefer and why specifically. And we're not talking about all these different types of phones. I'm talking about Samsung versus Apple. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to know why. And I think that'll be a good discussion. I'm really curious to know what other people think about this topic.
Yeah, tell me in the comments if you have the new phone. Are you getting a new phone? Do you like it because it does this? What do you use it for? If you're just talking about specs, that's a different game. We could talk about specs, but I'm talking about what do you use it on a daily basis? Are you a photographer who tries to do stuff and have the phone and take photos with the phone, or are you a TikToker or a video blogger or whatever? What do you use? How to use it on a daily basis, and why do you love it?
Yeah, I want to know if you have an older Samsung or a newer Samsung, an older Apple phone or a newer Apple phone. Do you have the new iPhone 11 Pro? Do you have the old iPhone 10? Do you have, I don't know, the S7 on the Samsung side? We want to know. I think it'd be cool to see what different people have currently and why.
Yeah, and drop a comment if you have the new SE. Is the new SE worth it? Because I know the price point is lovely. It's under like $500, $400. So it's not.
It's like a throwback, dude. It looks just like the older.
But I know
versions.
that, but that's for the people that can't afford the $1,200 phone and pay for all the specs.
Man, it does the same thing. Sure, it may not have like certain specs, but I don't know. I've had this Apple phone for I don't know how long, and I don't plan on switching until that thing dies. I am not switching. So I don't know. We'll see. I think it's a cool topic, and we were definitely all over the place. We didn't have an agenda, but I think it's important to talk about the points that are important to each of us, not just to go off of some like preset sheet that, you know, it just sounds like a robot reading off things. Like, no, these are items that I'm thinking of that matter most to me, and Richie did the same thing. So I think it's kind of cool that we could touch on just certain points that matter to us. I don't know. I think that's a lot cooler than someone just reading off of a sheet.
Yeah. Please add comments, hit the like button.
That's right.
Subscribe.
Yeah, definitely subscribe. That helps a lot.
And please give us your feedback on if you would like us to cover any other topics. We have our own topics that we want to cover.
Yeah, we have quite a few.
But if there is any topics that are not on our list and that we need to add, please let us know and we will do so.
As long as it's not something super weird, dude. I'm not. If someone posts something like I don't know, do you like watermelon gum versus something like, yeah, no, I'm not talking about that stuff. So it really honestly really depends on what it is. Most likely we're gonna talk about most things, but if you hit us with something wonky, like I'm not even gonna address that.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the next podcast, and also follow and subscribe to Milton, the Mind of Milton, so that you can keep up to date with all his different videos that he's doing. And yes, there are going to be different videos coming out in the future. And that is from me talking to you. And that is not Milton preaching his own channel. So stay tuned. We have thoughts of doing other topics and other things that are not podcasts. But for right now, this was our test run. And I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, it's your channel, so
and it's not going to be perfect. We obviously have some things we probably need to work out. I think one of the things is we had kids running around, so if you heard them in the background, well, I mean, we have kids, so that's what you heard. We may work on different audio options, play with different things. So this is just the beginning, and Richie was kind enough to talk about my stuff, but do you want to plug any socials or anything in here?
No,
no Instagram. No, I know you have all that, but I mean, you don't have to plug all that if you don't want to.
No, I do. I am working on editing some photos, and I will be creating a new Instagram that is just my photos, not my family and my personal account. But that is something that will be coming out in the future.
Yeah, you know what would be a cool idea too? If one day we did one in nothing but Spanish.
Oh.
I think that'd be kind of like, okay, so for those that speak Spanish and English and are listening to this, like I know a lot of you are really good at Spanish, and we may not be the best. So
I am not the best.
So I know you guys would rip us, but I still think it would be fun. So
yeah,
we may do that in the future. So, yeah, for my friends that speak the Spanish language, Stay tuned for that, because that may be coming, where we use one podcast and do nothing but Spanish, and we'll see if it sticks or not. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, if it sounds like we're gonna be closing up here. You have anything to add?
No, man.
We just want to thank you guys. If you happen to be listening and stuck through till the end, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Add your comments and put the time that you added it, so that you reached all the way to the end.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, kind of, in a sense, because there were some...
Oh, yeah, magic word.
Some screenshots.
Yeah, for those who watching, listening to the end of this podcast, magic word is beer. This is our first podcast, and the magic word is beer. Add it to the comments, and for all those that are added to the comments that have the magic word... We'll shout you out in the next video.
Ooh.
And if we get a whole bunch of subscribers, Milton might drop something at 500.
Yeah,
so.
we might have to do a giveaway or something. So that's beer. B-E-E. B-E-E-R.
Yes.
And geez, I would have gotten that right the first time if I wasn't drinking. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for listening, most importantly. And we'll catch you guys next time.